Hey guys, what it is yo girl Cadillac. I'm Cadillac Dixon. I'm the Draw My Life prison wife. I'm the legally blind artist that is rapping and painting for justice, hoping to see justice before all phase two black. Yeah, hissy a girl Cadillac. Anyways, Vlogmas day 6, and we're back. We're back home off the cruise. Yes, that was an experience of a lifetime because I've never been on a cruise before. All in all, I think the trip turned out marvelous. I do think the devil started trying to throw some darts at it so that it could turn out in an imperfect way, which everything is imperfect, but like a horrible way. But thank God that it didn't play out in that manner. Okay, so first, your girl was not packed, was not ready. So I know myself. I know I'm running from this task, then running to that task, then running. Like your girl don't sit down for 2 seconds at all. Cadillac don't stay parked for a moment. Yes. So I already knew that. So when I requested time off for the cruise, I did request to have off the day before and the day after. So today is the day after because I knew that there's no way I would already be packed. I don't care how many months prior you give me, it's always to the last moment, which is not on purpose. But I'm gonna tell you why it's always the last moment. Do I have to re-record that? It was some little white stuff on my nose, a little fuzzball or something. Uh, but I can't go back and re-record. Y'all just have to see my imperfections. Y'all know I'm very much imperfect, so y'all just gonna have to see that. I'm sorry. But the normal Cadillac would have erased that and started from the beginning. But we ain't gonna do that today. We just gonna keep flowing. But I know that I wait to the last minute, but it is not on purpose. The only reason that I'm down to the last minute with everything is because truly every moment of my life is filled. I'm trying to do something in the earlier moments. So things get to the last moment because I haven't had the time to take care of them yet because I was dealing with other situations. I do wear multiple hats. Now, that is one thing that you have to understand about me to really, truly understand me. I'm not just a person that, okay, normal life that I see is a person my age. Let's take a 40-year-old. Most 40-year-olds are just about done raising their kids, or they have teenagers possibly. Okay. And they may have a career, right? They may have a husband, and pretty much their life is kind of set. So they're either working in the morning, noon, or maybe night, and then they're coming home with the teenage kids if they have them, and cooking. If not, they're just cooking for themselves, and they're pretty much doing whatever little errands they have to do in the evening time, and then at night they're going to sleep, and boom, it's the next day to do pretty much the same thing, which I desire a life like that. I do. But I I think for those people, they could be all right with where they are in life. They're settled. They're fine. That this is where I wanted to be in life, or it's not where I want to be, but I'm glad of where I'm at, and I can deal with where I'm at. I'm not going to say grateful because I'm very much grateful for my life and how it is. Very much grateful. So I'm not ungrateful, but I'm not necessarily, there's a thin line. I'm not necessarily happy with where my life is. I do know that my life can be what I desire it to be. So I'm going to keep fighting until my life is what I desire it to be. So I do desire my husband to be home. I don't desire to be single, but your girl ain't desperate. So I'm not going to just find a place filler because Marcello, my husband, is not here. No, I want my husband. I don't want an acting husband. So your girl ain't out there just trying to be, it's not where I'm just don't want to be single. if I wasn't with Marcello. If there wasn't a Marcello Jackson there and I knew that he existed, I would be fine with being single, girl. Like, I would have had my fun back in the day, which I did, and I would have been fine with being just single right now. But because he exists, and because I know how wonderful and great he is, and because he is wrongfully convicted and I need to get him home, that becomes a whole hat that I have to wear to try to fight for his freedom, to advocate for him, to do all my projects that tell about wrongful convictions. Because I really think it's bigger than Marcello. It's bigger than Marcello. It's bigger than your girl Cadillac. We represent, oh shoot, it's about to power off. We represent an unrepresented population. For every one of me, baby, there's many multiple women in the same shoes. For every Marcello that's wrongfully convicted that you may have heard about, there's thousands that you don't even know their name and their stories are not being heard. So I think this situation happened so that I can go through it. I can understand it. Marcello can go through it. He can understand it. And once we get through on the other side, we can help those come back, come through, pull those through out this darkness. This is a dark road, and it's a lonely road that you most likely will go through by yourself, because people just don't rally behind wrongful convictions. It's just the way of the world. So that's a whole nother hat, and it takes a lot of time. I'm also an artist. Girl, I'm not fine with just being a 40-year-old woman. I'm a freaking artist. I have been an artist since I was a child. Art brings me delight. That is my passion. That brings me joy. I love to create. You just don't know. And to create takes time. If you want to make the best creation, if I showed you my best painting, which I think I have it on my community tab, it's a picture that I did of Monica Arnold. If I don't have it, I'll go check it after I finish this video. If I don't have it, I'll try to find it. But I got 1,000,001 pictures, just like I got 1,000,001 videos on Facebook. I'll try to go find it and post it here. But my best art takes time. That picture took me some time. Now, I do know on my community tab is my charcoal artwork that I did with charcoal and chalk. Baby, that looks fabulous. Like perfect. Like perfect. For real. But to get that perfection, it takes time. So in those images, if you see those, I took time. So for me now, my art, I'm trying to squeeze into little packages, little pockets, little small sections of time. 10 minutes here, 5 minutes here, a quick 5 minutes out of my lunchtime, a quick 15 minutes before I'm rushing to work. That is not the proper time to create, because number one, it takes a minute to get into creative mindset. You don't just jump into creativity. And then also, when creativity is interrupted by a phone call, by a text, by this, by that, by most times when I'm recording, someone's running out the house into the car, it's interrupted. It takes you time to get back to that creative state that you were. And sometimes you can miss that creative state. You might jump into a different creative wavelength or something like that. So you may lose that thought. That's why I journal and write all the time. If I come up with a brilliant thought and I'm doing something else, I text it to myself. I'll write it in the palm of my hand, because I know I will never have that thought most likely again. So I have to always be ready to capture, like a jar, and it's bees flying all around me. I love metaphors, and I'm trying to capture them. No, not bees. I don't want no bees, girl. Fireflies. Okay, so I'm trying to capture, butterflies. Butterflies, yes. I'm trying to capture butterflies, right? And they're just flying around, flying around. I have to be ready. If I'm sitting here and I'm not ready, I can't catch it. So I always am writing and journaling to capture some of the moments of creativity that flow through me. But I really need and desire way more time. Way more time. Do you know the type of artwork? If I'm doing this in little compacted pockets of time, do you know what I could do with just more time? And that's what I'm trying to create with my for myself. Um, that was the whole point in me going to graphic design school, so that I could be a graphic designer doing a job, because we have to have a job. That is a requirement to life, which sucks, but it's a requirement to live on planet Earth. And it's a require, especially, okay, maybe not planet Earth, but America, girl, that's an assignment you must fulfill for you to even live decently, almost decent. Because I don't even think, girl, you got to have about 2 jobs to live decently in America. So to live abundantly, you need 3 jobs, 3 or 4 jobs, which leaves you no time for your life. So what I wanted to do was align my passion with my assignment, because in life we're assigned to work. You must do to have, so I want to align the two so that I can do more creating, because now that 8 hours that I'm spending at a job, just standing up right now, I'm in food service, which is cool. I have a great personality. Anybody that sees me working or whatever, they're blown away by my customer service. I believe in treating people. I believe this anywhere in my life. Treating people the way you want to be treated, not treating them the way that they treat you. I don't believe in that. People treat me like crap, and I just can't treat another like crap. It's not in my heart. It's not in my soul. So when people are like, oh, they get what they get, give them that sandwich and tell them to go head on. I don't feel that in my spirit. I want to be compassionate to the person. Guys, I'm so sorry. Your sandwich is still, we had to remake it. We had an issue, this and that. And most times when I address the person, they kind of calm all the way down, because I truly know how I would feel. So I'm coming to them with the same energy of, we have done something wrong to you, so I am so sorry about it. And they can just feel it. They feel that it's genuine, because I truly do put myself in other people's shoes all the time. So much so. Now I take it to the extreme, so much so that I can't even really get my own life together. I'm getting everybody else's life together. But that's a whole different story for a different time. But anyways, that is why I think that I do really well in restaurant service. But it's not necessarily my passion. Now, I love people and I love pleasing people, which is crazy, but it's nothing creative in it. So it's leaving that void in my life for that creativity, and I must create every day, all day, all day, all day. Do you know how many thoughts hit my mind? And also back to that customer service, I just won a big, big recognition at my company. I'm in a theme park, 3 separate parks, and they have this nightlife area with restaurants and clubs. I won that. Girl, they gave me a park right to the front for the whole December. So if y'all see me running this time, and within the next few weeks, girl, I park right up front, not treading across escalators and parking lots and trying to get in the park and this and this and that, because Christmas is about to be packed. So thank God for that. I cried when I opened that. They gave me $100 added to my check, my paycheck. They gave me some movie tickets. Girl, like, how much better can it get? On top of that, gave me $150 gift card to use in the parks, however I saw fit, whether it was restaurants buying little gifts. And so it was so nice. And a teardrop because I was like, they see me. Like I so felt unseen. Like when I tell you about Walmart, that Wally World girl, they don't see their employees. And they only see them as employees. And not even employees. They see them as I don't know what they like. Oh, let me get off of that. That was the past. And girl, when I used to work at Walmart, I used to imagine looking in my rearview mirror and seeing that store in the back. I used to daydream about the day that I could quit. I had a rap about that. And the lyrics was, here, take your vest. Can't take your stress. Man, take your badge back. Haters back. And give me 50 feet. It's your girl Cadillac. Should known that you couldn't compete. But yeah, so much so I imagined that day. It didn't play out that way, but girl, just that imagination. But I no longer work for it. So I have come up because I don't work for an oppressive company like that. That I actually compared that company to being in prison. When Marcello went to prison, I went to work at Wally World, which seemed like a prison all to itself. It was like I was released for a little while to go roam free and then come on back to your prison, your sentence. Come on back, girl. Come on back in the room. I used to pray. It was one day I was so over going to work. I would have this little file cabinet box that I would take with me everywhere. I'm a very sentimental person. I'm going to keep every single thing. It's very hard for me to part with something because each item has a specific memory attached to it. So this little box was my mother's. It was my mother's file cabinet box. And I would keep my paints in it. It was all cracked up, chipped up. The latches didn't close, but it was my mama's box. And my mother hadn't even passed away at that time. But for my mother to give me something, it's so beautiful and precious. So I would keep all my paints in that. And I would run off to work. I would have my canvas underarm because Walmart, we did have longer break sessions. So I was able to really get in some painting and stuff. So I would eat really quickly and then go and paint. So that day I went out to go to the car and I was just over it. I fell out in the grass. Yes, we have not big, but we have a front yard with grass. I fell and laid out in the grass with my paint box and my canvases and just kind of rolled back and forth. And I'm tired of going to work. I'm tired. I don't want to go. Like, it was so crazy. And my family sat there and laughed at me. They thought, I guess I probably did look crazy, but I didn't know what else to do to free myself from that situation. So when you get in a situation and you don't know how to get free, eventually God's going to free you. And my freedom came through having a slip and fall and them getting rid of me, basically. Freedom came in a weird way, but I was freed. So I no longer work that oppressive environment, but now I'm battling my own body, my own disabilities, to try to still work. So that is not my desire over my life. So just like I listened to Josen, I done put it together. Jordan the Chosen One. He was like, it's levels. You don't just go from one level to another. So you move up steps. So I moved up the step from getting rid of the oppression, but I'm still working and fighting my disability. So my next ladder up would be working without pain, possibly. And then maybe it'll be working in my purpose. So I wear that hat. And then my family, y'all already know, is the biggest part of my life. I am not sacrificing nothing. I mean, of course, we're not talking about God. God is first. We're talking about just normal things, right? So nothing comes above my family. No one comes above my family. Like people. I'm not talking about God, y'all. We already know he's first place, right? But nobody comes in front of my family. I am going, or nothing. I'm going to set everything to the side for my family, which has been kind of a detriment because some people just, once you do that all the time, they expect it off rip. We know that Kita is going to set aside all that she has to do if I have this problem. And we're going to work on my problem. And then we'll probably be tired once my problem's done being solved. And then Kita will just deal with her problem later, which Kita don't deal with a problem. Her problem gets stacked up and stored up in the storage full of problems. That's why I be behind. But I'm still not going to put I'm going to put my family first. I love my family. I love spending time with my family. I feel like that is one of the biggest aspects in life. Do you know how blessed you are to have a family? And you really don't truly understand until you start losing these family members. Like my mother, oh my God, there will never be another one of her. There will never be. And she was such a selfless, loving, beautiful woman. But yes, spending time. I don't want to miss not one opportunity, no, not one moment with my family. So we're gonna set everything to the side for my family at all times. I mean, that's just how it is. I love spending time with the kids. I love kids. Kids love me for some reason. I don't know why, but they just love to be under me. Like almost every child that I meet, they can know me for a few seconds and they're all of a sudden my best friend. And then even not just kids, like even when Money was a teenager, all her teenage friends, her cousins, everybody just loved me, which made her, Money get she would get jealous. But then also, I work at a theme park and I work with 1,000,001 younger people. Like, theme park life is weird. It's old, old, old people, and then it's young, young, young people. It's not a lot of, so maybe theme park life is somewhat like a retirement job or a first beginning job. Now, those in between stages, it's not a lot of people working in theme parks. So, everybody just loves me, which I don't know. I really don't know, but they do because y'all know how I dealt with so much rejection in my life. It's so weird when people love me and when people accept me and when people really want to hear what I got to say because nobody ever wants to hear what I got to say. You know what I mean? So, but the young people there just gravitate to me and I love it because I feel like I can be an inspiration to them. Like, girl, I don't care what you've been through. I don't care how you think you failed. Cause ain't nobody failed harder than I failed. I don't fail in every challenge in life. And you can do it. You can get up. You can. If I can do it, going blind, hands all cripped up, if I can do this stuff, you can do it. Whatever you have, look at my cousin. He's a blind cook. He's fully blind. He lost his kidneys and his eyesight at the same time. And he's like, I want to do YouTube. And I'm like, okay, you can do it. Let's do it. And we did a whole channel together. Like, you can do it. Just use whatever portion of what you have left. It's about what you have. Joel Osteen. Y'all, Black Friday, I was able to renew my Joel Osteen, and I'm so grateful for that. Yes. So basically, the her last bit. So it's the story of Elijah. Elijah asked her for a piece of bread, this woman, and the destitute widow invites him over to her home where she uses her last bit of flour and oil to bake for him. Okay, so God gave a blessing out of that last bit. It didn't turn out how she thought. She thought she was going to make this bit of meal for her last meal for this prophet, right? And then her and her child is going to starve after this. And that is not how it turned out. So it is what you have left over that God is going to use. And in me, it's what I have, the bit of motion that I have in my hands, the bit of movement in my body, the bit of eyesight. My eyesight is 2200. No, 20x. No eyesight. 2200. 2060 with the contact. That's what God is going to use left. He doesn't need that 2020. Yes. So with what I have left, I want to do what my purpose was, so that might be that top ladder. So I'm just walking up the ladder. I'm just tired, girl. I'm tired of climbing. I'm tired, but I'm human. And I love the fact that I admit it. Most people would be like, I don't feel no ways tired. Girl, I feel ways tired. But anyways, so many hats. I have to wear all those hats daily, like daily. I'm grandmama and mama still, a baby girl. So I have a lot of hats to wear, and I'm gonna wear each hat daily instead of putting on one hat today, one hat tomorrow. So I overtired myself, and it gets to that last minute, and I'm like, boop, I did not pack. So I knew that was gonna be the situation. And where do you think I found myself on that last day? Girl, the last day. No, it wasn't. Because Monday I did start a little bit earlier. Okay, so our ship did not sail until Friday. So on that Monday, I did start preparing little by little, but it was a challenge. I clearly should have started earlier, but I was doing something earlier. That people love to ask me Kina, why you didn't do this earlier? And I'm like, which earlier do you mean? I mean, earlier I was doing something earlier that I should have done earlier. And earlier I was doing something earlier that I should have done earlier. Girl. But I have a whole nother story time for that whole packing and trying to get that stuff together, how crazy that all went. But I'm about to run out of time, so I'm gonna upload this. I might make it to that Walmart's and such, and upload this real quickly so that I can come to part 2 of this, getting prepared for our island vacation cruise, once in a lifetime, actual vacation, not toiling, not working, not interrupted by phone calls, not just vacation. Yes. And I'm so thankful and grateful. It was my sister Aaliyah's 28th birthday. So happy belated 28th to Aaliyah. All right. Hiss ya, girl, Cadillac.